Vireo can accommodate different policies related to publication to ProQuest UMI. There is a ProQuest-specific export for sending batches of ETDs to ProQuest in a ProQuest UMI-friendly format. By using the Vireo ProQuest Export format, universities can bypass any costs of publishing ETDs with ProQuest. Today I will show you how to configure the settings in Vireo to export ETDs from Vireo to ProQuest. Each institution will have its own policies. To correctly configure Vireo for ProQuest Export, certain settings and specific metadata fields are required. You will need to configure settings under the Application, Submission, and Configurable Settings tabs. To begin, go to Application Settings. Scroll down to the ProQuest UMI Settings section. You will need to have a ProQuest institution code to insert here. This code is a ProQuest supplied code that identifies the institution associated with all submissions coming from the institution. The ProQuest institution code can be obtained from ProQuest, or for TDL member institutions, from the Texas Digital Library. Next, look at the Index by Search Engines field. Choose Yes to allow submissions to be indexed by search engines such as Google and Yahoo, or choose No to reject indexing by search engines. Next, you will need to review the ProQuest license agreement. Submission of ETDs to ProQuest requires a separate license in addition to a license that allows publication of the thesis or dissertation to an institutional repository and the Texas Digital Library. The license agreement can be edited to add notes about the institution's policy on submissions to ProQuest or to provide other directions. The language of the license itself should never be changed without written permission from ProQuest. The last section you will need to review in application settings is the degree code. Scroll down to degree codes found under the license agreement. The degree code is a ProQuest supplied code for each degree your institution offers. ProQuest will supply a list of degrees that have been received from your university. You can inform ProQuest if additional degrees need to be added. For TDL members, these will be supplied by TDL. Here in degree codes, you will enter the ProQuest codes for your degree types. Next, you will need to navigate to the Submission Settings tab to view the UMI release. Click on the tab titled Page 2 License, and then click on the plus sign next to UMI Release to view the UMI release. The UMI release must be enabled to use ProQuest. Institutions will choose between optional or required depending on policy. If submission to ProQuest is mandatory for both theses and dissertations, the required option should be selected. The required setting will not allow students to complete the submission process until the agreement box has been checked. Institutions which do not require submission to ProQuest would set this field to optional to allow students to continue the submission process without agreeing to the license. Institutions with mixed policies, such as mandating dissertation deposits but not theses, would choose the option that is best suited for their workflow. Before moving on to the last step in the configuration process, you will need to verify that certain metadata fields are required so they can be included in the ProQuest export. These include degree code, which we have already seen, language, and subjects. Click on Verify Personal Information, then on the plus sign next to degree to expand the field and make this element required for students. Repeat this process for language and subjects found under page 3, Documentation. The last step before testing the ProQuest export is in Configurable Settings. Click on the Configurable Settings tab. First, click on Available Embargo Types. Then scroll down to ProQuest Embargoes. The embargo code is created programmatically based on the embargo option a student selects. Under ProQuest Embargoes, you will see the types of embargoes available. These can be edited by clicking the Edit button to the far right of each row. Other embargo links must be arranged with ProQuest. Note that, as a matter of policy, some institutional users choose not to export ETDs that are under embargo. If the institution holds ETDs until an embargo ceases, the embargo must be changed to none in the Document Info view of the Vireo submission prior to downloading the ProQuest UMI export. Otherwise, the embargo will be enforced a second time by ProQuest. Now you are ready to test your ProQuest export. Testing is performed to ensure that the institution FTP accounts function properly, file naming conventions are correct, and that XML structure is correct. The testing is considered a success once files flow through ProQuest automated processes without error. To prepare your ProQuest export for testing and for all future exports, you will first need to filter your ETD list in Vireo to select those records you want to send. Navigate back to the list view and create your filter. After you have selected your filter, scroll down to the Advanced Options box at the bottom of the list view screen. Click the Download Export button and then choose the ProQuest UMI export function. Click Download Export. Download the zip file that is generated and extract the files to your computer. Note that each ETD record will convert into a zip file containing the dissertation or thesis, an XML file with ProQuest required metadata, TDL and ProQuest license files, any supplemental files, and any permission letters for use of material under another copyright. Note that submitting permission letters to ProQuest requires that those files be designated as license files in order for the document to export into the correct folder and remain hidden from public view. Staff may choose to upload a permission letter in the Vireo record as a license file. Alternatively, the student may upload the permission letter as a file type specified by the institution, and then staff can change the file type to license upon receipt. To complete the export process, you will need to FTP or File Transfer Protocol the files to ProQuest. You can use FileZilla or another FTP client to send the files. You must have the host, ProQuest, FTP address, and a username and password for your institution. Please contact the Texas Digital Library at info@tdl.org or ProQuest at dispub@proquest.com to obtain this information.